Hello there. I thought I'd start making some videos on self-healing techniques because I think now is more important than ever to build your immune system. We've got coronavirus hitting people left, right and centre, and it is not affecting just old people. It's affecting young people just as much and in really weird ways for completely different lengths of time. It's not like you just get the flu for a week and you're out of action and then you're back to normal. Some people are suffering with this for weeks and weeks and weeks on end, and they're like 21. You know, it has nothing to do with age or high risk or vulnerability. Of course, these factors are important. But to me, what is happening is the people who are affected the worst have the weakest immune system. So how do you develop a good immune system? People, we're told that, just eat, fruit and veg every day, take some multivitamins and that's it, drink water and you're good, your immune system will be good. And it's not true. It doesn't matter how healthy you are. You could go to the gym 5 times a week, you could eat every piece of fruit and veg in the world, but if you have poor mental health, as in you don't look after the things that come up emotionally and mentally for you, and you project this lack of care towards those things through things like exercise and eating healthy and going, well, I'm good because I'm doing this, and you're actually ignoring these things, you will have a weak immune system. Our cells are completely controlled by the health of how we feel, right? How our emotions and how we feel is dictated by our thoughts. So it all starts with your mind, with the initial thoughts. If you're sat thinking fearful thoughts all day, you're going to have a weak immune system, because that will manifest physically in the body. You will be susceptible to what you call negative entities like disease and viruses. How many times have you gotten ill after a really harsh experience in life? I get ill after every single breakup in a relationship. I get flu. And it's not like coincidence. It's that the rest of the year I was taking care of myself, and the time where I let myself go and be, vulnerable and open to these fears, all of a sudden my mind is not as strong and healthy as it was. So I allow these things to enter my body and I get ill. And I'm just like sat there for, the next month going, well, this is shit, isn't it? I'm an idiot. So don't judge yourself, don't blame yourself, just consistently work on a self-healing practice. And I'm going to share some of these with you today in this video and in subsequent videos throughout the week. There's also a lot of harsh astrological alignments, shall we say, going on at the moment. Nothing is coincidence. All these things of COVID were predicted by astrologers and seen throughout the world of, wow, this is a massive thing. It's a Saturn-Pluto conjunction. When these happen, things like world wars happen. So this is our generation's world war. We're in lockdown. We are fighting an enemy. All the structures in society are changing, evolving, collapsing, growing. We're having to completely reassess everything. And this is not like the planets control that. It's a symbiotic relationship. It's like a dance of planets, and they have certain influences on the energy of what is at the center of these dancing giant spheres around us, right? And these become challenging if you're not aware of them, of what's going on and what you are sort of supposed to be going through, what you're supposed to be looking at. Because these planets will come round and round and show you these same things over and over again throughout your life. But if you just ignore them and suffer with them, you never heal what these alignments were trying to tell you, okay? So that's really important to understand what's going on. Whether you believe in astrology or not, I don't give a shit, because I'm not stupid and I see patterns throughout history, throughout my own life, and I relate things to things that thousands of other people also understand and feel at the same time with seemingly no explanation, but it's all happening, okay? So you're allowed your own beliefs. These are my beliefs, and I'm just sharing what's going on and how I handle them, how my friends handle them, and how you could handle them as well. So during this time, it is incredibly important to allow yourself to be vulnerable. If you're scared, allow yourself to be scared. If you feel a lack of control, allow yourself to not feel in control. It's really important that you open up to yourself and go, do you know what, today I'm feeling really vulnerable, or I'm feeling lonely, or I'm feeling scared or confused, or, you know, if you don't have that dialogue with yourself, you just ignore it. You put it to the back of your mind, it stays there, and then it comes out later in life as some massive stupid drama, when there's no point, there's really no need for it to get to that. You just maintain a present awareness of what's going on, and you admit to yourself when you're not feeling great. And then there are certain measures that you can do to work through these as gracefully as possible. So what I'm going to be doing is reading and doing and showing you exercises from this book. It's called The Complete System of Self-Healing Internal Exercises by Dr. Stephen T. Chan, Tao Publishing. I don't even know where this book came from. I think someone did a house clearance and they gave me this book and like an old photography book. It was like, amazing, thanks dude, you know me so well. And I picked it up the other day and started doing exercises from it and found them highly beneficial. Now these are based on Taoism, on the Taoist philosophy or the Taoist religion, and the Tao was written, so the Tao Te Ching, written by Lao Tzu. It's one of the oldest religions on earth. I'm going to actually read the short introduction of where this all came from. Here we go. The Complete System of Self-Healing Internal Exercises is about one part of the living philosophy of Taoism. Taoism is the eldest of the world's religions. Its founder, Lao Tzu, the best known and perhaps greatest of Taoist sages, laid the groundwork which was to support the 8 pillars of Taoism when he wrote the Tao Te Ching. The Tao Te Ching itself is primarily a political treatise and a theoretical representation of Taoism expressed from the point of view of an enlightened being. The formulation of the practical and functional aspects was left to other Taoist sages, the Yellow Emperor for instance, when other ancient Taoist masters devised, in addition to the basic spiritual doctrines and philosophy of Taoism, innumerable techniques designed to ultimately transform and immortalize the physical body. The 8 pillars of Taoism materialized. The 8 pillars are 8 branches of Taoist thought and practice, and they are symbolized as 8 trigrams in the Pao Ku, the symbol of Taoism. The internal exercises themselves from one pillar of Taoism. So that's the symbol. You might, obviously this is the yin and yang symbol. This is the basis of Taoism. And these you might recognize from the I Ching. These are trigrams. And these are the 8 pillars of these internal exercises of Taoism. So, what is Taoism? Now, I've never actually read the Tao Te Ching. I bought it because I was like, I should probably read that. But I do understand the philosophy of Taoism, the core basis, in its simplistic forms. And I came across a tarot card years ago at a Reiki course that I was doing. We used to pull tarot before it and see if, you know, if it had any meaning for us on that day, and it absolutely did. And I'm going to read what that card was, the explanation of it. So it was from the Osho Zen Tarot, and the card was change. Now, at the time, I was going through an incredibly challenging time in my life. I'd been diagnosed as bipolar. I was seeing like psychiatrists. They stuck me in a load of drugs. I didn't know which way was up, which way was down. I was going from incredibly happy and loving life and everything and everyone in it to incredibly depressed and just suicidal, and you know, this duality of my experience wound down so tight that it wasn't just like now and again. It wasn't just like one day feeling good, one day feeling shit. It then became like every other hour, and then it became every other minute, to the point where I was like, I'm going to have a nervous breakdown here, I need help. Anyway, I'll do a completely separate video on that, on bipolar, which I've been meaning to do for a while, so keep your eyes peeled for that. But I lifted this card, and this is what it said. Life repeats itself mindlessly until you become mindful. Unless you become mindful, it will go on repeating like a wheel. That's why Buddhists call it the wheel of life and death, the wheel of time. It moves like a wheel. Birth is followed by death. Death is followed by birth. Love is followed by hate. Hate is followed by love. Success is followed by failure. Failure is followed by success. Just see. If you can watch just for a few days, you will see a pattern emerging, a wheel pattern. One day, a fine morning, you are feeling so good and so happy, and another day you are so dull, so dead, that you start thinking of committing suicide. And just the other day you were so full of life, so blissful, that you were feeling thankful to God that you were in a mood of deep gratefulness. And today there is a great complaint, and you don't see the point why one should go on living. And it goes on, but you don't see the pattern. Once you see the pattern, you can get out of it. So this is the wheel, this is duality, this is yin and yang, this is the circle. Once you see the duality of life, the dual nature of yourself, and you see that pattern, you transcend these two opposites, these two opposing forces. So I know all this explanation may sound a bit complicated, but it's really not. It's really simple and challenging at the same time. So what I do is, or what I try to do is, I recognize the negative emotion. If I'm feeling scared or vulnerable or a bit scatty or completely insane some days, I recognize that. And I don't fight it, because as soon as you fight it, you exacerbate that problem, you make it worse. I also don't try to hide from it or, escape from it, because it's going to come out sooner or later. So I did a video about this the other day on going with the emotion, because when you go with it, that emotion dissipates. Now, we naturally feel like we need to do something against something. So I'm feeling shit, I'm going to go do something good. Yeah, that is brilliant. But if you are so extremely stuck in this emotion of fear or vulnerability or depression or anxiety that it is just completely clouding you from anything, and everything you try to do doesn't work and makes it worse, this is what you do. Okay, you go with the emotion. And what I mean by that is you just recognize that it's there. You just accept that it's there. And then when you do something to counteract it, that is accepting that it's there. You're not judging it. You don't need to judge your emotion. You don't need to judge the fear or the anxiety or the vulnerability. You just go with it mindfully by doing something like this that we're going to do today. And once you do that, you might not feel it at the time. Like if I'm feeling shit, I do yoga, right? And whilst I'm doing yoga, I'm not feeling good. I'm still feeling shit for the entirety of it. But I just go through the motions, and it's like it's a moving meditation. And after I've done that, I go, well done, mate, you did something positive in a really shit time. And that is when this circle is complete. You saw the negative, you did something positive, and this becomes a circle. But crucially, you see that neither is good or bad, or positive or negative. It all just is. You just see this process, and when you become mindful of this process, you become a mindful creator of your own reality. And thus, you improve your mental health because you are in control of you by mindfully going with your external world. You tune the inside to the outside, and the outside tunes into you, rather than vice versa, and just feeling like you can't get ahead, and everything is against you, and blah blah blah. I hope this is starting to make sense. Before we start this exercise, I just want you to try something with me. So, wherever you are, just sit as comfortably as possible. Doesn't matter if you're cross-legged, sitting on a chair, lying down, it doesn't matter. But right now, just close your eyes. And just take a deep breath. Now, I want you to move your attention to the soles of your feet. Just focusing only on the soles of the feet. Just bring your attention there. Feel what they're doing. If they're resting against the floor, feel the floor beneath them. If you're cross-legged, just feel what is around them. If you're laid on your bed, just feel your feet. Just bring your attention to the soles of your feet. Take a deep breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Just focusing on the feet. Maybe the little toes. Maybe the next toe. Feel all your toes and the soles of your feet. You might start to feel a slight buzzing sensation. Like a little bit of energy around there. Not painful, not like an electric shock, but just a buzzing energy around there. Just feel that kind of washing over the soles of your feet. It might start coming in waves. It might be kind of pulsating. Keep your attention on the soles of your feet. Okay, now open your eyes. So, this is scientifically proven. When we bring our attention and focus on a certain part of our body, it physically sends more blood to that part of the body. So what you were feeling there, whether it was divine universal energy or just blood flowing to your feet, what's the difference? You did that. Is blood not energy? Are the blood cells that make up our body not energy? Was that process of mindful thinking and imagining, creating a picture in your mind to a point in your body, sending focus, sending energy there, and thus in turn the physical caught up with that and actually sent blood there? Did you not do that? Is that not conscious creation? It is. So if you can send blood to your feet, imagine what you can do with the rest of your body. You can heal any part of your body through meditation and bringing mindful focus there. So that is the principle of these series of videos that I'm going to do. Thank you for bearing with me, by the way. They're not all going to be this long. I just wanted to do a nice big introduction as to what this all means, why I'm doing it, why you should do it too, or why you might find it helpful to just bring some emotional peace and balance and equanimity with yourself and help build your immune system during this incredibly big crisis pandemic that we're in, just to bring you a little bit of control and build resistance against what's going on. So, here's what we're doing. The first one that we're going to do is, there's so many, all with diagrams and what to do. See these? This is what we're going to do. Brain cleansing. Now, I've done a similar thing of this in yoga. This is slightly different, so we're going to go with this one, but I'm going to ease you into it through how I learnt it. So you do need to sit cross-legged for this, and find a quiet place to do it. If you have a yoga mat, do it on that. If you don't, it's fine. If you can't quite cross your legs, just get them to as far as you can without it hurting, without it straining. Just find your edge and stay there, okay? You don't want to be uncomfortable, but you do want to try and build the flexibility towards being able to cross your legs, okay? Now, back is nice and straight, shoulders down. Arms just gently resting on the knees. Rest your wrists on the knees and just start breathing. Start bringing your attention to your breath. Inhale and exhale. Now, before we continue, it's really important that you're breathing correctly. So, what you want to do is, on your inhale, you inhale to the stomach, to this bit. Your diaphragm sits under your lungs and goes like this, right? Watch how a baby breathes when they're sleeping. They inhale and their stomach rises. They exhale and their stomach comes in. This is how we're meant to breathe. When we're scared or anxious, our breathing moves to our chest. Short, sharp breaths, right? It does that to pump blood around the system to prime you for fight, flight, or freeze response, okay? If you're in that state, the first thing you want to do is change your breathing, because that changes your biochemistry and your physiology to bring those cortisol levels down. So when we want to mindfully do a practice, it's important that we sink in with the natural process of breathing. So just try it now. Inhale straight to here and expand the stomach like this. Exhale, bring your stomach in and slightly up. So it's a 3-part process. When you inhale, it's here, it moves up to the diaphragm, and then it finally, lastly moves to the chest. So inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay. Once you've got that, we're going to add an element to it. So keep your back nice and straight, shoulders down and relaxed, head just pointing forward. Inhale to the stomach. Exhale, slowly, gently. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. On the next inhale, I want you to tense your pelvic floor muscles, okay? women will know what the pelvic floor muscle is. Men also have them. Basically, tense your butt. On the inhale, tense your butt. On the exhale, lift it up. So you sort of release it. And when I say butt, I'm going to say it, anal muscles. Okay? They're linked with your pelvic floor. So when you inhale and you bring the air to here, you sort of push down on your pelvic floor. When you exhale and you bring your stomach in, you lift it up. You lift your pelvic floor up. So we're going to bring that into practice. I know it sounds complicated, it's not. You ready? Inhale, stomach goes out slowly. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Can you feel that your pelvic floor is naturally starting to do this now? Inhale, you push down your pelvic floor. Exhale, you bring up your pelvic floor. Inhale, push down your pelvic floor. Exhale, bring your pelvic floor up. Okay. The next element is turtle. So this is turtle stance. This is the beginning of it. You're already in it. The next step is just lifting your head up. So we do all three of these things together. You inhale to the stomach in a three-part process. As you gently lift your head up and you push your pelvic floor down. When you exhale, you bring your stomach in and slightly up. You bring your head back down to center and you lift your pelvic floor up. Are you ready? We're not going to do it all at once. We're going to gradually bring each thing into play. So, inhale, stomach goes out. Exhale, stomach comes in and slightly up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, push the pelvic floor down. Exhale, bring it back up. Inhale, push the pelvic floor down. Exhale, bring it up. Inhale, pelvic floor goes out, head goes up. Exhale, pelvic floor goes up, head comes back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Well done. Okay. This is the next step. You put your thumbs into the palms of your hands and you make a fist. This keeps the energy flowing back into your arms. Instead of escaping out of your hands, you keep the energy in. Then you lift your pelvic floor up and you keep it there. You don't do the in and out. You just lift it up and you keep it there. This keeps the energy maintained into the upper part of the body rather than escaping through the lower. So when you do this, I'm going to read from these instructions actually. So, negative thoughts are large obstacles which prevent healing from occurring within the body. The brain cleansing one exercise helps to train the mind to become empty of negativities and to help it take on divine qualities. It will help one come into harmony with the natural laws of the universe by enabling one to cast out the limiting concepts of wrong thinking and death and find the Tao. The Tao, by the way, means the way. Where there are no isms, no dualistic thoughts, no desires, no diseases, but only complete peace. 1. Begin the brain cleansing breathing exercise by assuming the turtle sitting position. Sit with the back erect and with the hands resting lightly on the knees. Clasp the thumbs securely between the fingers. In this manner, you hold onto the energy in your hands so it recirculates back into the arms. Allow the eyes to remain closed throughout the exercise. Now, inhale all of the air from your lungs without straining as you assume the turtle position with the head stretching upwards and the shoulders down. Next, gently tilt the head backward into the second turtle position and slowly begin to inhale the breath. Try to feel that as the breath enters into the internal chambers of your body, it carries with it a boiling steam, fire, or white smoke, and that it slowly begins to rise upwards from your abdomen to the head. Feel the smoke fill the head completely. When you've completed the inhalation without straining, then straighten the head and begin to exhale in the first turtle position. Feel the smoke, steam, or fire leave the body. Feel it carry with it the worries, tensions, unnecessary thoughts, dishonesty, anger, depression, and ills of your mind and body. Feel the clearness and cleanness that is left behind. Then repeat the breathing sequence again as many times as you feel comfortable. However, try to maintain a minimum of 7 inhalations and 7 exhalations at each sitting. It is important to remember to keep the anal muscles contracted while performing the exercise, as this will lock the energy in the upper chambers of the body and will allow the energy and the smoke to rise up the spine in the brain. So I wanted to show you what it was to begin with and what the pelvic floor muscles are and how to do it, so that you know how to do this. It's actually really simple. So sorry if I've confused you with all that explanation. My intention is the opposite, so that you have a fuller understanding of what's going on and why. So sit cross-legged, thumbs clenched in the fists, back straight, eyes closed. Take a nice, gentle but deep inhalation and lift your head up to the sky. Exhale and lower your head. Okay, lift your pelvic floor muscle on this inhalation. Raise your head. Exhale, keep your pelvic floor muscle raised. Head comes back down. Inhale. Head goes up. Exhale. Head goes down. Inhale. Breathe in fresh, new, white smoke, white energy, white light that goes straight down to your abdomen and then gently rises like steam up towards your brain. You ready? Inhale. Feel that steam enter your brain. Exhale. Feel the steam leave through your mouth. All the negativities, all the stress. Inhale. Feel the steam enter your abdomen and rise up to your brain. Exhale. Breathe all the negativities and worry out. Your pelvic floor should be up for this entire process, and your fists gently clenched. We're going to do 7. You ready? And I'm not going to talk you through it, I'm just going to breathe and do it with me. You ready? Inhale. And open your eyes and relax everything. Pelvic floor is released, arms released, shoulders are released, head is released. It's quite hard, isn't it? But once you focus in on it, it's actually very refreshing. I'm going to read this next bit. Note B. At first, it may be difficult to coordinate the breathing with sensations, but with determined and motivated practice, you will be able to clearly feel the smoke as it comes into and leaves your head. Also, at first, you may not be able to feel the clearness that is left behind, But with patient practice, you'll be able to develop a strong feeling of clarity. If the mind is clear, then your problems will be 80% eliminated. So practice this. Find your own rhythm, find the sensations in your body, and start to coordinate everything. Coordinate the contraction and release of your abdomen, of your solar plexus, of your diaphragm. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. The expansion and contraction of your diaphragm. Breathing in, it expands. Breathing out, it contracts. Breathing in, it expands. Breathing out, it contracts. And once you get the rhythm of your pelvic floor, then you can lift it and hold it there. And gently raising and gently lowering, and feeling the steam come from your abdomen rising up into your brain. The brain is what you're focusing on. Once you get all this rhythm, this is what is important. You are cleansing your brain of negative energy. And remember about the bringing us attention to the feet and what that does. Imagine what this does. It actually works. Okay? So that was the first Taoist healing practice that I wanted to share. Really thank you if you've stuck with me this long. I know it's a long video. All the others, I'm just going to be explaining the techniques from now on. Okay? So there'll be like 5 to 10 minute videos. So look out for them. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. I think it's there. And hit the bell and click all so that you are notified when these new videos come up. Because you'll start to do them, and some of them you might hate, you might think they're rubbish, some of them you might think are absolutely brilliant, and they can become part of your self-development practice. Okay? One more important thing I wanted to know is self-mastery, self-healing, self-advancement, self-work. It's really important to understand that doing positive things for yourself is not neglecting the negative. It's actually becoming conscious of the negative, of our shadow selves in Jungian philosophy. This is shadow work. If all you are wanting to do is, or all you are feeling is, I need to be better, I need to do positive things, I'm doing positive, then that in itself is a negative thing, isn't it? Because it's saying you're not good enough already. And that creates shame and guilt and this endless pursuit or this endless need to be better. And that is not what self-work is about, what self-mastery is about. Self-work and self-mastery is about becoming conscious of everything, of both the negative and the positive aspects of life, and seeing that as a process, as a wheel, as a circle, and you become one with that circle. If you become one with that circle within yourself, within your own processes, you see other people's, and you see that this is, sorry, there's a motorbike outside, you see that this is the natural process of life. The inner becomes the outer becomes the inner. Okay, namaste. Thank you very much for watching. See you later and have a beautiful day. Cheers.